Peace, power, positivity, pep talk. I am back. Hope everyone is doing very well. Today is a video that I think will help a lot of people that are interested in getting into semen retention or nofap. Obviously, nofap November has just passed. And guys, I've been doing semen retention or nofap, whatever you want to call it, for longer than just this November. It's not like I tried it because of this no nut November fad. I've been doing it for a while, but I wanted to give you guys a bit of a timeline as to what I experienced in this nofap November period. To be honest with you guys, I started this streak just before November hit anyway. Maybe it was the 27th or 28th of October. So I'm almost around 5 weeks, I think. Something along those lines. I think it's 5 weeks is Saturday. But without further ado and without wasting time, let me discuss my nofap journey, semen retention journey for you guys. So, to be honest with you, I relapsed, as I said, about the 28th, 29th of October. What did I experience in the first week? Well, let me tell you guys, the first few days after my relapse, I was pretty sluggish, not gonna lie. 2 to 3 days, I was still feeling very slow, very lethargic, brain fog. That is a massive thing that you get, and that isn't some sort of that's real. That is 100% real. You get brain fog. For me, it was pretty much instantly after I relapsed for the first time, and I really did feel that after the first 2 to 3 days, around that sort of mark. I felt quite low on energy just after I relapsed as well. I would wake up a lot more tired. I would wake up a lot more unmotivated to get out of bed. And it just wasn't how I should be feeling. It's not how anyone should be feeling. You should be able to get out of bed, and essentially take life by the balls, if you want to call it that, and achieve whatever you want to achieve. But when you're constantly releasing your life energy, keywords life energy, you're really not going to achieve what you want to achieve, because, as I said, guys, life energy, 2 keywords. You have to remember this throughout your journey if you're looking to do nofap or semen retention, or you're already doing nofap semen retention. And transmutation is the other keyword, which I will continue to detail in this video. So after the 3 to 4 day mark, guys, I started to feel a little bit better. I would wake up with more energy. I would wake up with a bit more purpose and a bit more, because my brain fog kind of disappeared after the 4 day mark. It got better and better. That's when I was able to focus a lot more on what I needed to get done. At the start of every day, I have things written down as to what I want to achieve for the day. And I struggled with the first 3 days of nofap semen retention, but after that, it got a little bit easier to stay on my purpose and stay on my task. Now, you can't get any benefits from semen retention if you're not transmuting the energy. So it's really important to stay busy at all times. Keep your schedule full. If you go home and when you're going to bed, if you go to bed absolutely exhausted, you've done what you've had to do correctly. You have achieved what you wanted to achieve. You've used your energy for the positive things in life, not just releasing and wasting your life seed. If you go to bed exhausted, fantastic, you're on the right track. So about the 4th to 5th day mark, things started to get a little bit clearer for me. From my experience with nofap semen retention, that is the sort of period where you start to slowly see the benefits. And from there, from about the 4 day mark to about the 2 week mark, it was more of the same, but it gradually got better from the 4 day mark to about the 2 week mark. So the benefits slowly started to rise. Benefits. Here's the one that everyone wants to know. Female attraction. Did I get any? Was there an increase? Well, this is something I really tried to take notice of this time. I haven't really noticed it that much before because I haven't really focused on that particular aspect. But it's true. The first maybe few days after I relapsed, there was no attention whatsoever. Absolutely none. And then maybe from maybe a week to the 2 week marks, I started to notice a little bit more attention, and it just continues. It peaked for me at the 3 week mark is that I was getting compliments from a lot of different people. You know, you can't really see it now, but I've been sort of switching up how I look. I've been tying my hair up a little bit more. This is probably the longest that I've grown it. By the way, guys, nofap and semen retention, your hair gets thicker and your growth and your volume of your hair becomes more prominent, as well as your eyes, guys. Your eyes, that is a huge one. When you just release, you get bags under your eyes get red. You just look like a drained soul, a drained energy, because it makes sense. If you're releasing your life energy, well, what do you expect at the end of the day? So obviously your eyes are the gateway to your soul. So if you release your energy, your soul is not at its fullest potential. Okay, so that is a massive one, and I did start to notice that probably around the eyes. When I was doing some of my earlier streaks, I would notice it maybe a week in, but because I think my body has adapted to doing 2 to 3 weeks of semen retention, because my longest streak is about 7 weeks, which I'm trying to break this streak. I lost my train of thought there, but what I was basically trying to say to you guys is that your eyes, I noticed it probably about the 2 to 3 week mark. Your limbal rings, which is your rings around your pupil, which I don't know if you can see it. It's around, I've got brown eyes. It's the ring around your eyes. You notice it a lot more. And I've had people comment specifically on my eyes in that period. And going back to female attraction, I've gotten more compliments from females. There's been random people that have come up to me and said, oh, you know, your new hair looks great. Just comments. You know, I work at a childcare center, and I've had female parents come up to me and give me, you know, quite significant attention during this period, whereas before, when I was releasing, I was virtually invisible. So for me, it's real. It's not the reason why I'm doing this, but a lot of people do wonder about these sort of benefits when taking these journeys. So I noticed it, and the longer that you do the streak, it definitely becomes a lot more prevalent to you. The other big thing that kind of interlinks with it, but not really, is your confidence in conversation. Now, one more thing actually is that not only do you get respect from females, you get a lot more respect from males as well. Just from everyone. Like, you get more respect in conversation. People, whatever reason or another, want to talk to you more. It's like they can sense your energy. People just give you more respect. That's what I've noticed. People give you more respect. When I was releasing, you wouldn't get the respect that you deserve from people. And when you're not releasing, it's like they can feel your energy, and people are more inclined to want to talk to you. Maybe it's because you have a more confident aura about you. You have more eye contact when you're on semen retention. Eye contact for me, when I was doing my earlier streaks, I noticed it after maybe only 2 to 3 days. Since my body has adapted to doing these sort of similar amounts of streaks, which is 4 to 6 weeks, I'm still not at that period where I can reach like months to a year. It takes longer for that to sort of kick in for me now, but if you're new on this journey, you'll probably notice those sort of benefits after, I'd say, 4 to 5 days with eye contact. And maybe that's why you get a lot more respect. It comes from, as I said, the eyes are the gateway to the soul. So when you're giving eye contact to someone, you're kind of connecting with them on a spiritual level. If you continue that eye contact and they can see how clear your eyes are, they see you've got the clarity of mind, maybe that's what gives, like, allows people to give you a bit more respect. I'm not sure, but you definitely notice it from people. Similarly, things just tend to go your way on semen retention. It's funny because when I relapsed, I can't remember the exact thing that happened, but for the first 2 to 3 days, it was like I had this chaotic energy around me where I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a few things that was happening at work and maybe in my personal life that there was just more chaotic energy. Right now, I feel like not many things can go wrong because I'm constantly on my purpose, and I genuinely believe that the universe is looking out for me, particularly because it's a spiritual thing. When you do semen retention, the longer that you hold your seed, the more connected you get spiritually, which I'll go into later in the video. But I had a lot of chaotic energy around me early on in my streak, and it did start to sort of diminish the longer I went on my journey. Funnily enough, in a previous streak that I had, I think I was on my longest streak, and I was living in a very small, probably too cramped studio apartment. And all of a sudden, like, it's like things just happen for you. Like, I got this opportunity for a rental property where it's like a times four upgrade, a times five, six. It's that much of an upgrade, which I'm currently living right now, where I'm recording this video. But that opportunity came up with like significantly cheaper rent just out of the blue. I got that opportunity. It's like I got rewarded for manifesting the right things in life. Because you become more connected spiritually, you understand and you see life more so for what it is. When you're constantly releasing your seed, particularly to those naughty websites, you kind of lose a grasp on what life is really about. The things you should be looking to achieve in life is all long term. You can't get things short term, at the end of the day. That's the thing with today's society, is that people expect things now. With information, people get it now. With females, they use those sort of websites to get what they want sexually now. You can't get wherever you want in life with short-term fixes. It's all long-term fixes in terms of dopamine. And that's what semen retention does, is it kind of rewires your brain to look for dopamine in the long-term challenges, like being on your purpose, like building your body, which for me, semen retention gave me more energy. I would say maybe around the week mark to have more energy in workouts. When I was working out just after I relapsed, it was actually very difficult. I remember the day that I relapsed, I did a workout and God, I was drained and I really struggled in that particular workout. Didn't really have the drive to do it. Luckily for me, I sort of forced myself through the workout. But it was very challenging because you do lose that life energy, and it's very difficult in those periods to be able to find the energy and motivation to work out. But although I think it gets easier, it does get easier, for me it gets probably easier around the 4 to 5 day mark, and I'm sure you guys will probably notice it around that period as well. So far I've talked about female attraction. I've talked about being connected more spiritually, which I'm going to get into now actually. So along my streaks that I've done this year, I have found myself wanting to connect more spiritually. I've found myself wanting to look after myself better. When you're constantly releasing your seed, it's like something clicks in your brain that you've achieved something, when you haven't really achieved anything other than, looking in those naughty websites and releasing. That's what your body considers an achievement, because at the end of the day, that sort of stuff should be used primarily for recreation, creating a new life. So when you release your seed, it's like your body's like, okay, I can relax. I've done what I've had to do. If you do that constantly, you're kind of stuck in that mindset. You're stuck in that mindset of, I've achieved something. Great, I don't have to do anything else for the day, which therefore it puts you off your purpose. Therefore, you're not as connected spiritually, because you're kind of not really wanting to connect because you're in that state of relaxation all the time. If you want to achieve things in life, you can't ever be in that relaxed state of mind. Guys, I have been one of those guys that's been very chilled and relaxed, and I am still that guy. I'm still very calm, sort of mellow person, but almost too calm and too mellow, where I'm just sort of a bit too blasé about things and a bit too like, it is what it is kind of thing. Now I'm a lot more driven, and that's by transmuting the energy. If you transmute the energy correctly, everything in your life will improve, and that is no hesitation in saying that whatsoever, because it's happened for me. Maybe not in one streak. As I said, I'm still in that part of my semen retention journey where I haven't got past 2 months yet, and I'm hoping to do so. Now I will do so, but yeah, I just wanted to sort of mention that to you guys, that it's important to be aware of that, and you will not connect spiritually if you continue to release your seed. So the more you connect spiritually, and how I've done that is through meditation. How I've done that is through affirmations. If you guys don't know what affirmations is, it's when you in the morning, you sort of say out loud what you want from the universe, and the universe does its work. Guys, how do you think I got this place where I am now, which I just explained a minute ago? Is I honestly believe it's through the manifestation and affirmations. I put it out in the universe that I wanted my life to elevate, and then what happened? That sort of just fell on my doorstep, and that opportunity obviously has come to fruition. Affirmations very much helps. I've said this in previous videos with how to control your urges. That's very important to do affirmations in the morning. Ask the Most High for guidance to get through urges, because I'll tell you something, all these people on YouTube make out that semen retention is quite easy. For me, it's not. I had quite an addiction in terms of those websites and releasing my seed constantly. I've relapsed with those websites once in the last 7 months. Guys, I was doing it every single day, twice a day sometimes, and I was spending I would say around an hour a day on those websites. That's an hour I could be putting onto my purpose. Not only that, when you continuously release your seed, you lose the energy to get on your purpose. So even if you are on your purpose and you're continuously releasing, I genuinely believe that you're not able to maximize your time, because your body is constantly in that relaxed state, because you're releasing your seed and your body is thinking, all right, I've achieved what I've wanted to achieve. So you just go into that calm, relaxed state, which it sounds good in theory, but when you're not actually achieving any of your goals and you're just sort of sitting around low on energy, obviously it's a negative. So it's very important to understand that. It's very important to understand that you need to transmute your energy correctly, and once you do that, you become more spiritually connected. Meditation is a very good way of being able to connect spiritually, because it sort of calms your mind. For me, it kind of clears the thoughts sexually out of my mind. Although I will be honest with you guys, I am on one of my longest streaks now. Those thoughts are coming in thick and fast, and that's what you have to be. You have to be resilient on this journey, because there are some extremely tough days. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for anyone. I'm always going to be honest. Yesterday was one of the most tough days, if not the toughest day I've ever had on any of my streaks. The thoughts, I'm not going to lie, I almost relapsed yesterday. I wasn't edging, but I was kind of playing around, and I'm not going to lie, that's what I was doing. And you just start to think it's a split second decision at the end of the day. Relapsing, you'd have that split second decision of, all right, I'm going to do it. What I've found now is that my mind has gotten stronger over my streaks, and that's the thing, your mind will get stronger and more resilient, because if you're able to control your sexual urges, you can control anything in life. And that's why it's really important to stick to this, because once you control your sexual urges, you're able to push away distractions a lot easier, because sexual urges is probably the biggest distraction that you could have. So if you could push them away, you can push away other distractions such as social media. Since I've been on my semen retention streaks, I've got rid of social media anyway. I'm still on Facebook, but that's for business purposes, but I don't have Instagram anymore. And for me, Instagram was the biggest time waster at the end of the day. So you'll connect a lot more spiritually. And I think for me, I started to connect a lot more spiritually, maybe on this streak around the 3-week mark. It's been a lot earlier on other streaks, because obviously my body wasn't as adapted to doing these streaks. So for me, it was about the 3-week mark. I think you'd probably expect those sort of spiritual benefits. It's different for everyone, but I'd probably say an average around a week to a week and a half. What I mean by spiritually is connecting to yourself and understanding what your life purpose is, connecting to yourself to understand how to self-improve. That's what I mean by spiritually. It's not some sort of, eureka moment of, oh, now I understand everything. I have had those kind of moments on semen retention where it's sort of like a mini awakening, but don't expect it. It's going to come gradually, and I think you'd probably get it after a week or 2 weeks, around that sort of mark. Guys, physically, you look a lot better on semen retention as well. I don't know if you can notice, but my skin right now, it's like it's constantly shining. People have commented on that as well. They're like, you're glowing and all that kind of stuff. Someone even said to me that you're glowing. They're kind of insinuating that it's because I've had sexual activity with somebody. Not the case. Not the case at all. Quite the opposite, in fact. But your skin definitely clears up, and your hair becomes a lot more prominent, and your physical features become a lot more prominent as well. Like your body and whatnot, people notice that a little bit more. Right now, I'm doing a lot of calisthenics. My goal in the next month is to get into the gym. I live in a complex where is a gym that is reopening in the next week and a half. That is my goal for the end of this year and the beginning of the new year, is to get more into that. But my body has changed a lot. I'm a lot more shredded. I'm a lot more, stronger, and a lot more sort of energized, because of my core is very, very strong at the moment. But And that's the thing. Semen retention will give you that ability to be motivated in that respect, but only if you transmute the energy correctly. Guys, obviously this is a video about the timeline of my benefits, but the most important thing is to transmute the energy. If you do not transmute the energy correctly, you will relapse. If you continuously think about semen retention when you're on the journey, you will relapse. That has probably been my biggest weakness on my journeys, is that I've thought and I've counted how many days. I'm trying to get out of that mindset now. For me, it's not easy because I'm relatively new to this journey, but I will keep going until I no longer think about it. From what I've read and what I've heard from other people, a lot of that, you start to sort of forget about it and it becomes more of a lifestyle around the probably 3-month mark. A lot of people consider that as some sort of rewiring period. I haven't experienced that yet, but I want to get to the 3 months to sort of see what happens then. And right now I'm on track. I'm on 5 weeks and I will continue to transmute. But that's why I almost relapsed yesterday, is because I didn't transmute correctly. I was too static in my day-to-day. One more thing I want to notice I want you to notice before I go, is that there will be a flat line, and I think I'm slowly going into that flat line. Whatever you do, don't relapse, because there is always light at the end of the tunnel in anything in life. You must continue through the nofap or semen retention flat line, because it's your brain rewiring. It's like getting rid of any addiction. You're going to have a period where you feel very energized, but it's going to be backed up with a period where you feel very slow, lethargic, because it's like your body is missing something, so it sort of goes into shutdown mode. I'm sure there is a better scientific explanation for that, but that is kind of what I'm feeling right now, or I'm getting into it. The most important thing for me to understand is that I need to get through it, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. That's what your semen retention does, most importantly, is that it makes your mind more resilient and more stronger. So challenges that you have in life, and a lot of people have challenges in controlling their emotions, you get a lot better of it throughout your streaks on semen retention, throughout whether you're doing it streak after streak, similar to me, 4 to 6 weeks, which I'm trying to improve on, or you're on a long streak. A lot of people will tell you that because you're controlling your sexual urges, which is the hardest thing to control, you're able to control your emotions a lot better. So I used to have days where I'd let my emotions get the better of me, and it would sort of enable me not to be at my, enable's probably the wrong word, but it sort of stopped me from being the best version of myself that day because my emotions got the better of me. If you can control your sexual urges, you can control your emotions a lot better. And if you can control your emotions a lot better, you have more clarity of mind. And if you have more clarity of mind, you are able to stay on your purpose more. Guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. So that is my semen retention, nofap November journey. For you guys, a bit of a timeline, bit of the benefits of what to expect, and some tips as to how you can continue forward. And honestly, guys, for someone that's been doing semen retention for about 8 to 9 months on and off, honestly, not on and off is what I want to, but what I'm trying to achieve is a long streak. You need to keep going. You need to keep persevering. You have to understand that whatever you want to do in life, there's going to be some severe downs as well as some severe ups. But if you're able to ride the severe downs with clarity of mind and still that focus on your purpose, which is what you get through semen retention, because your mind gets stronger, you will be successful. Use this as a tool to become successful. I am not there yet, but let me tell you, the growth that I've had in the last 9 months is probably more than I've grown in the last 5 to 6 years. A lot of other YouTubers will tell you the same thing about semen retention. No exception for me, guys. No exception for me. Thank you very much for watching my video. Obviously, it's a long one, but I wanted to give you guys a full in-depth analysis on my nofap November journey. Thanks for watching the video. This is Pep Talk, Peace, Power, Positivity, and I will see you in the next one.